Hello, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you did click on this video, it's because you want to see some absolute disasters masquerading as food, probably lethal, bad to human health. Most of it is toxic. Probably should treat most of these as if they were a nuclear disaster and put them straight in the bin. But no, people chose to eat these things. So we're going to be ranking these. We're going to be choosing if they are edible or if they're inedible. And I've saved the best till last, so make sure you stick around till the end. So up first, we've got this lovely little salad. Now, apparently the problem with this salad and the reason it's ended up on this Rate My Plate is because they love a bit of mayonnaise. I'm pretty sure most of the comments on this one would have been like,
"Hey, do you want a bit of salad with your mayonnaise?"
Bro took I hate salad to a whole new level.
Not sure you can consider this getting your greens in.
If you are what you eat, then Burr's gonna have to change his name to Hellman.
okay, enough torture on this one. Honestly, I would eat this. I probably wouldn't eat all of the mayo though, just because I don't really like condiments. Me and condiments do not get on. I think most people would eat this, especially for someone who really struggles to enjoy a salad, you know? Like they say to get you 5 a day in, but they don't make it easy on us, do they? I'm going to put this in the edible pile. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Okay. So, am I criminal? Spaghetti and salt. Yes, you are a criminal. You should be locked up and put on a detox. You clearly have an addiction to flavorless, and the fact that you're posting this so publicly and instead of being ashamed, this is what people mean when they say influencers are bad for society. This is what people mean when they say that influencers are bad for our children. Imagine your kid coming home from school and saying,
I want to eat plain, boring, watery spaghetti out of the pan with a little bit of salt, please.
pretty sure the mum at that point would be like,
What have you been watching on the internet? You barred from the internet for 2 weeks.
honestly though, this is just an ingredients meal. I would eat this if I was really poor. Let's be fair, most of us have been there where we're students and we can barely afford a packet of noodles as it is. We're grateful for the spaghetti packet at this point. We are grateful that we even have a little bit of salt to flavor the spaghetti. I would say this is 100% edible, and I'm going to put it in the edible pile because I would eat this, especially as sometimes you just don't fancy that flavor. Like imagine when you've got a hangover or something, the last thing you want is something like spicy or like overbearing. You just want something plain to fill your stomach so that you actually have something to vomit up or to stop yourself from vomiting up. What is this? Okay, my fiance has eaten this for dinner the last 2 nights. He starts off by adding water to the bowl, then a chocolate powder, next some cheese and microwaves it. Oh, then adds saltine crackers and a hard tostada type thing. I can say I've tried, and for me, it's gross. Yeah. Bonus points if you can guess where we live, because surprisingly, this is a common thing to eat here. Okay, I need people to comment down below. Tell me if you know what this meal is and where it's from, which country, which place, which street, because I'm pretty sure this is an isolated case. They're saying where they're from. This is definitely a cult. Let's start looking into islands for one. There's got to be an island somewhere with a bunch of people that eat this. I'm more concerned with the liquid base that this food is in. It kind of looks like when your kid comes home from school and he's had football practice and you put him in the bath. That's the colour of the water that you get afterwards. That is the result of muddy bath water, in my opinion. And she's saying her fiancé has eaten this for the last 2 nights for dinner. Honestly, I would say that if this was edible, it would be more of a lunch thing. I don't know. Then again, I've got to remember that some people do say dinner as in lunch, so this whole thing is confusing now. I really can't decide what time of the day that he's actually eating this. This should not be consumed at any time of the day. The next concerning thing is that he adds water and chocolate powder, but there's not enough chocolate powder in there to make it look nice, like for it to look delicious. And usually you'd mix chocolate powder with milk, and that's why it's so delicious. This is just water and then watery crackers. Have you ever had a soggy cracker? It's disgusting. Nobody eats salty, wet crackers. And then that tostada thing, I think it's like dry bread or something, like dried out bread. I'm pretty sure that was just added in last minute. Like maybe this guy works all day and his wife doesn't cook and he comes home and just throws shit together. Maybe he's a bodybuilder and he just needs to get his macros in and this was the best way he could decided to do it. To me, in that situation, it would be more of a, I really just need 5 more milligrams of sodium. I need like 35 grams of carbs and I've gone over my protein for the day, so I shouldn't have any protein. That's what this looks like macros wise for me. Like if you were going to break it down, this would not be something you would consume 2 days in a row. So that must mean that he's just enjoying it, which is even more concerning. This is definitely going in the inedible pile. They had the whole house smelling good from breakfast this morning. This is right. This combination is the food at the bottom of the sink after you're done washing the dishes. That's what this looks like to me. You know, when your whole household is really just too lazy to scrape off their plates before they put them in the sink? This is the result. After you've done the dishes and you've drained the water, this is what's waiting at the bottom of the sink. And this person's just scraped that out of the sink and shoved it on a plate and called it breakfast. This is not nice to look at. This is gross. And what even is that thing? Right, so they've got some Fruity Loops, some rice, some beans, some sort of like, what is that? Is that like a taco or something? Like a dry tortilla? I don't know. With peas and some ham, some carrot. No, it's a no. Honestly, this is just another example of an ingredients meal. This person has clearly got no creativity and they've basically just put ingredients together instead of making an actual meal. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're missing out on life if this is the type of thing that you generally just eat for breakfast and enjoy. It's not even healthy. Like, let's review, okay? The microwaved rice, it's clearly microwaved rice. There's no way that this rice was made from scratch. Just look at how puffy this stuff is. This is like a sumo wrestler in rice world. The Fruit Loops are just sugar, basically. This is literally just, you're missing out by just not putting them in cereal. If you're going to eat something as unhealthy as a Fruit Loop, you may as well put it in the milk and enjoy it properly. Why put it on the side of all of this concoction, this total mess, and eat them dry? This is inedible to me. I wouldn't eat this. If someone put it in front of me, I might pick it a little bit just to be polite, but inevitably it's going in the bin. Right, okay. Is this what a vegan shit looks like? Like, because they don't eat any meat or anything, I just imagine it comes out clear. They eat so much tofu that they've got white poops. There is prawns in there though, so this clearly isn't a vegan thing. Homemade spring roll for dinner, what's missing? Sanity, taste, appearance. I could go on. Why does it look so wet? It's concerning. This is not what condoms were invented for, guys. This whole thing just looks like shrimp with some sort of leaf in there. It looks like maybe parsley or coriander or something. I have no idea. It's definitely not a spring roll. I think it's meant to be one, like a healthy version of a spring roll. Instead of using the phyllo pastry, they've used these clear, plastically looking things. I think it's like rice paper, and when it gets wet, it's really sticky. Unless you put some sort of soy sauce in with the vegetables and the fish, this is literally going to taste like, well, nothing. Or it might taste like fishy seawater, depending on the quality of the prawns there. I'm going to say this is edible, but it wouldn't be my first choice. I would eat it, but I probably would not compliment you after. I thought pancakes would just... I thought pancakes were just flour and water. That's brilliant. I love this person. I think that's so cute. They legit thought that they could just put water and flour together and then fry it up. I'm not sure what they've put on it though. It looks like some sort of syrup, which, hey, if you put sugar on shit, does it make it edible? I love how the person commented with the ingredients to actually make pancakes. That's super helpful. Super helpful, but also absolutely hilarious. Do you know what? We've all been there. We've all been there where we've wanted to make something, but instead of literally Googling it and taking 2 seconds to look at the actual recipe, we just think, do you know what? I'm just going to figure this shit out on my own. It can't be that hard, right? Turns out it can be. Especially when it comes to baking. I think baking is more serious than just cooking. Cooking, you can basically throw anything together, which Rate My Plate is hard evidence of that. But with bacon, you have to be more precise. You can't just put things in and expect the best result. You have to actually measure things and follow a direct recipe, follow correct cooking times, etc., etc. But no, kudos to this person for at least trying, and kudos to them for sharing this as well, because this result is just absolutely hilarious. This is definitely inedible. I'm not going to eat this. I wouldn't recommend anyone else eats this. It will taste like crap. It will not taste good. It's just flour and water, and they've put some syrup to salvage it, but that's not going to help at this point. This goes straight into the bin. Tomorrow's another day. Try again. Don't give up. You will make pancakes one day. Okay. This one doesn't actually look too bad. I don't really know why it's on the worst list of Rate My Plates. My dinner tonight, corned beef and spaghetti with rice and hot chocolate. The way to a Simone man's heart. Okay. I guess I'm never going to get myself a Simone man then.
Sad.
Honestly, this doesn't even look too bad. The white rice is just rice. It looks pretty well made. The spaghetti and corned beef with the rice is a bit weird. It's like double carb. Maybe at this point, this dude is actually carb loading. We don't know. We haven't got a backstory here. But I would say this is so carb heavy that you're either going to be a heavy set person eating like this every day, or you're going to be doing a ton of cardio to shift that extra calorie. This is calorie dense food. There's not much protein either. The protein is what you really need to make you feel fuller for longer. Protein also helps with not gaining as much weight. So I would recommend that like at least half of the carbs need to be on this plate. Also, where's the veg? I can see a little bit of onion. That's not enough, my man. You need between 5 to 8 groups of fruit and vegetable per day. This is not cutting it. This guy took carb loading to a whole new level. The food chart is disappointed in you. Oh my God, I've just seen the cup. I love Diddy parties. Holy hell, man. This must be a recent post. I mean, otherwise he called it, right? He called it. To have a mug that says that, I'm really interested to know how old this picture is because I love Diddy parties is just... That's just chaotic. Man's drinking his hot chocolate out of an I Love Diddy Parties mug and posted it online. I'm going to put this in the edible pile, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would eat it, especially if I was absolutely starving. This would be like absolutely boss if you were starving. Carbs is what you want, you crave, but I wouldn't want to eat like this all the time. Oh, it's the fact that they've literally put the bacon raw in there, and then they've put those dirty American cheese slices. These cheese slices are more plastic than anything else. They are literally rubber slices of cheese. They may as well start putting packets of these cheese slices in the shopping cart play sets that you get for toddlers. These are not cheese.
Stop calling them cheese.
They also don't cook well. You could put this in the microwave for 30 seconds and it would already be bubbling and popping all over the microwave. And these things are damn hard to clean off once they start sticking to stuff. Also, upon closer inspection, I can see this person did not use sauce. So essentially what they did was put dry spaghetti with raw bacon and then dirty, crappy cheese slices on top and shoved it in the oven for God knows how long, probably forgot about it. And this is the result. It couldn't be further from a lasagna if it was vegan. How do you make lasagna? Mine came out crispy as hell and I want it soft. Please help. Girl, that is not crispy. That is burnt. That is not crispy, it's burnt. Even the cheese is non-existent. And I'm pretty sure this is a lasagna. They've not used lasagna sheets. They've used spaghetti, like dry spaghetti, and put it in the pan lengthways. That makes no sense. That is not how you do a lasagna. This is, 10 for creativity. If you haven't got lasagna sheets in and you really want a lasagna, I suppose you could resort to some other sort of pasta shape or form, but this is just a no from me. I'm one of them people that if I'm going to have something, it has to be done by the book. I would not settle for anything less than the perfect example of what I crave. So if it's going to be a lasagna, it's got to be lasagna with the sheets and the sauces and the cheese. Honestly, if this was me, I just wouldn't have posted this. This is 100% inedible. It was always going to be in the inedible pile. This was never going to be considered to be eaten ever. And I don't think this person did eat this. I don't even think they tried it. They probably tried something, burnt it, and thought, you know what, I might as well get some views. There's no way that they legit tried this food. Toxic as hell, carcinogenic, vile creation. Ooh, okay. Strong stomach, guys. We can do this. This is another example of ingredients cooking. There is 2 very plain, boring, and skinless potatoes hanging around. There's some sort of mash, which I'm presuming is swede or maybe butternut squash or something like that. And then there's a random half a sausage just hanging around there. And then this delectable gourmet sheep's head. I'm presuming it's a sheep's head. It looks like a sheep to me. I haven't seen them without ears and wool, so I'm not quite sure. Actually, never mind. That's its ear there, all bubbled. Do people eat the lips as well and the eyeballs? I'm not sure. I know people like sheep's brains and stuff, like goat brain and things. Like goat brain and sheep brain is considered an absolute delicacy. I've never tried it myself. Honestly, I would probably eat this just to try it and just to say that I did. I don't think I'd enjoy it though. The meat probably just tastes like meat, let's be fair, just because it's the head rather than the body that we're used to seeing cut up into nice little slices that don't look like an animal anymore. It probably still tastes the same, but visually it's so unappetizing that I don't know if I could get through it. Maybe if you blindfolded me and didn't tell me what was going in, then maybe I'd be okay. I would like some seasoning though. Little bit of salt or something. Give me something. This is going in the edible pile, but again, I probably wouldn't go for this if I did have the choice. Oh, I love this. This is brilliant. This is so cool. This is actually a really good way to get your kids to eat foods that they don't normally eat. The base of the face looks like it's probably scrambled eggs with blue food dye in, which is completely harmless. Not the best thing to always add to your food, but if you've got really fussy kids or something, I can totally see why they'd do something like this. They've got some bacon for the mouth and then some HP brown sauce around it to make the mouth more apparent, which is kind of cute. I'm not sure what the eyes are. I know there's 2 dollops of brown sauce on the eyes, but I have no idea what the circly bits are. Like, what are they? I've never seen this before. It kind of looks like bread or something, but there's brown inside of it, so I'm really not sure what that is. The cookie is my favorite thing on this plate. It's literally like a burger with little squares of cheese to mimic a chocolate chip cookie. This is so cute. I'm not sure if this was for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm not entirely sure. But absolutely 100 out of 10 for creativity. And I would say 8 out of 10 for edibility. Because I would eat this, but I wouldn't be happy about the food dye. I also think the burger is a little bit overdone. Oh, this is another one of them pictures that just make me want to vomit. I can't stand the look of them sausages. The bacon, when it's a little bit underdone, at least it's still edible. Like, bacon doesn't take much cooking. So if you do undercook it, you're probably not going to die. But these sausages are absolutely vile. I would not eat these. Upon reviewing the mash and carrot concoction, it just doesn't look good. It's too watery. I'm not sure what the sauce is. It might literally just be water. I don't know. I'm going to say this is completely inedible. I would never go near this. I wouldn't even touch this to be polite. I'm sorry, but you would be getting a full-on rejection in this case. Imagine somebody serving you this on a date. What you thought was a 10 would quickly become a 2 or a 1, depending on personality, of course. You know, when someone says, what's more important, personality or looks? You say, no, their cooking skills. This is a red flag if I ever saw one. If anyone starts to treat you like this, you need to leave. Get help. Tell a friend. Move in with a family member, but don't suffer this abuse at home. It's not worth it. In the bin you go. Ah. Oh. Is this a school dinner plate, or did someone just buy a fancy plate for home? Oh, this is awful. Oof. Okay. Well, firstly, that's a duck head. I thought it was something else. Already, appearance is like minus 10 out of 10. But then on closer inspection, you see there is a duck head with a face and a beak and an eyeball still attached. Lovely. And then there's some really anemic fries These fries definitely are not tasting good. They're also cold. I can feel that they're cold just by looking at the picture. You don't even need to be in the room with these fries to know they're below zero. If someone walked into this room, they would probably think you have a ghost.
Oh, I can feel a cold spot right here.
Oh no, don't worry, it's literally just the fries. I've just taken them out the oven.
They're cold.
Yeah, that's how I like them.
Also, what is the attempt at sauce? Like, the sauce to food ratio is pretty crazy on this plate. They've got some sort of tomato puree or tomato, I don't know what this is. It looks like those tin tomatoes that you get. And then they've got two types of sauce. They've got what I presume is mayo and what I presume is ketchup. Now, those two things mixed together are quite delicious. It makes like a Mariro sauce, right? But to dip a fried duck face and some anemic chips into these sauces is not going to help at this point. This is not going to help. This isn't hiding anything. You could coat those two things in absolutely every condiment ever invented, and I would still be able to derive this as inedible. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. 100%, 10 out of 10, edible all the way. I would eat this. Moving on. No, but seriously, this is a star for creativity. This is absolutely amazing. They've got Baby Bell cheese for the eyes and then drops of HP brown sauce again. They've got little mushroom ears. They've got cheese squares for the teeth and nice big bits of bacon strips for the tongue. And I actually think they've used the wax off the Baby Bells for the shirts and the dress. I don't think that was a good idea just because it's not edible. It's kind of gross. Plus, if this was for kids, it's completely amazing and very creative, but I wouldn't leave the Baby Bell wax on there just in case. I know it's edible wax, but at the same time, you wouldn't want them to eat this bit. I probably would have carved up like a red bell pepper and used that as the clothing. It's nutritional, it's valuable, you can eat it, totally edible. This is absolutely going in the edible pile. I would eat this every day for breakfast. In fact, I want this every day for breakfast. Please, can somebody make me this? Ooh. Okay, so this is what I like to call a pauper's meal. You know, when you're in college, we've all been there, and you're absolutely strapped for cash. You can't afford anything. But Tesco's, they sell tins of spaghetti for 30p. So guess what you're eating every night for the next year? That's right, my friends. We've got a nice tin of 30p spaghetti. We've got, again, those dirty American slices of cheese. And then one of those jarred hot dogs, which I'm pretty sure is pig butt churned up into a tube shape. They're not real meat. Don't buy these. Overall nutritional value of this meal is in the gutter. It is edible. I'm not going to lie. I would eat it if I was really hungry, but it isn't something that I would put together and be proud of and then put on the internet. What is that? Oh my God, it's hairy. It's looking at me. It is actually looking like, I feel like we made eye contact. This is not good. This is not good. This picture is the reason that reflective toilets were never invented. Imagine having a metal toilet seat that you could see your reflection in, and then when you go to sit down, this is the result. Your hairy butthole staring right back at you. It's just the fact it's got a little bit of something on the side. What is that red bit? Is it like a bit of chili pepper or something? I can see that there's chilies in this. Honestly, it's making me gag. I have to stop looking at it. But you can't stop looking at it. Why can't I stop looking at it? Oh, it's still there. Right, I'm going to say this is some sort of Thai type of food. It looks like it would be like Thai food with the chilies and the veg and stuff in the watery base. And I'm going to say this is the wrong side of a pig or something. Maybe they bought some cheap cut of pig and this is the result. In the future, I would recommend either go to a really nice butcher's and get some really good cuts of meat, or just do a vegan meal. At this point, I would prefer tofu. They've even put tastes sketchy. It looks sketchy. I just can't get over the fact that it's hairy. I will not stop seeing that. Inedible. What is that? Bleh. I don't know whether it's just the shape that they've put it on the plate or whether it's the color of whatever that stuff is that's squirted onto it. But there's something about this that is so unaesthetic that I just don't like it. Like if someone generally put this down, we would be having problems. I feel like they tried to make it look gourmet with like the way they've placed it on the plate and presented it, but it's just a massive fail at this point. The chicken looks really boring. It looks like the type of chicken that you get pre-made in one of those packages. It says chicken breast with bulgur wheat and a homemade curry sauce by Mark L. He even signed it. I would not put my name on this piece of artwork, to be honest. This is the type of artwork that you frame your enemy with. Put their name on it. Definitely bound to ruin some reputation, this. The curry sauce is definitely homemade. How did you make that, Mark? I feel like this guy is probably friends with the person who made the butthole pad chai. Also, what is bulgur wheat?
Bulgur wheat is a form of whole wheat that has been cleaned, steamed, or parboiled, dried, and then ground into grains of various sizes. It has a nutty flavor and chewy texture, making it a versatile ingredient in dishes like tabalua, salads, and pilafs. Bulgur cooks quickly due to its parboiled nature, and it can be eaten plain or used in soups and baked goods. It is distinct from milled cracked wheat, as it is made from whole wheat kernels.
Alright, so it's just a posh version of popcorn then? Well, it's wheat kernels, not corn kernels. Try and say corn kernels really fast 10 times, I dare you. Alright, so it's got the boring ass chicken breast that's unseasoned and unflavoured, and then it's got some boring ass bulgur wheat, which is the less fun version of normal wheat, and then it's got this homemade curry sauce. I swear that's what it is. I'm gonna say inedible. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm not coming to your house to eat. No, I'm sorry, but something about raw chicken just does me in, honestly. Raw chicken really gives me this gag reflex effect, and I can't stand even looking at it, especially because it's breaded. Why is it breaded? I'm going to assume that this is homemade because usually when you buy breaded chicken from the store in like a packet or something, they pre-cook it. So you just have to sort of heat it through and not get food poisoning because they've done the hard part for you, right? This clearly is the result of somebody breading their chicken or battering their chicken and then expecting to just be able to fry it through. That's not how that works. You need to pre-cook the chicken first and then batter it after. It's basically like a triple cooked fry. To make fries at home delicious, you really need to cook them in 1 to 3 different ways. That's how you get the soft, fluffy center of an actual fry. The chicken is the same. You need to cook it in 2 or 3 different ways before you can start coating that bad boy up and frying the outside. If you fried it any longer at this point, then the outside would just burn, but the inside's raw. Which one are you going to choose? Personally, if this was me at this point, I would probably put it in an oven dish and cover it with some foil and then just cook the whole thing a bit longer. It's going to soggy up your batter, but in my opinion, it's worth it to avoid that salmonella. Also, why is sweet corn like the staple of this plate? The potatoes could do with some sort of flavoring. They look really plain. The salad is also very plain. Overall, this is a very flavorless meal. I'm going to put this in the inedible pile just because the fact that the raw chicken is on the plate and you've used the knife to cut into it, I wouldn't want to touch anything else on that plate. I would be so scared that the bacteria from the chicken has floated around on the plate and infiltrated the veg. I would not eat this. Unless, of course, you want your butthole to look like this for the next 3 days. Oh, okay. I mean, at this point, I feel like we're in an anatomy class. What is it with all of these pictures closely relating to human anatomy? My first and last attempt at a Yorkshire pudding. Hey, at least it's their last attempt. That means they learnt a lesson and they're not going to do it again. To be honest, if I had this result, I would probably give up too and just accept fate that I'm not meant to make a Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire puddings are hard to make, though. You either cook them too much and they burn and go crispy, or you cook them too little and they're soggy on the bottom and raw in the middle. Also, I don't know how people get that nice dip in the middle of a good, proper Yorkshire pudding. I'll just stick to the freezer version, thanks. I'm not even going to say what this looks like. I don't even need to commentary on it. Everybody already knows. Everyone that's old enough to know. Comment down below what you think this one is. I think the guys and girls will agree with me out there that this is edible. Probably shouldn't eat it in public though. Okay, that was 20 of the worst Rate My Plates that I've ever seen. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing if you like my content or you might not see me again. Comment down below. Let me know which one you thought was the most disgusting. And if you did think something was edible, comment down below and let me know which one. Probably not going to eat for the rest of the day after this one. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.